to do is take a pound of ground beef. You're going to take an awesome cooking vessel like this Le Creuset oval cast iron dish, and you're going to put it on the stovetop, and you're going to brown your meat. You're going to break it up into bits, just like you would be doing for taco night. So we went ahead and did that. That takes about 10 minutes to do. Then what I want you to do is scoop this all out. You could use your slotted spurtles if you have them, but I take this out of the pan instead of using a second pan because, as you'll see, with great cast iron from Le Creuset, I have a great fond on the bottom. So I have all these brown bits that I want to use for flavor as I go ahead and saute my vegetables that are coming up next. So I want to do everything in one pan, and why not? It's less cleanup if you ask me. Greg Shockley is here watching overhead.
You're doing great.
Okay, but here's a good question that customers always ask, Greg Shockley. Can I use metal utensils in my cast enamel Le Creuset?
Absolutely can. The enamel coating on the inside, which is an easy release formula that we have, so everything that you leave, just the stuff that you want to stick is going to stick on there, so you can release that fond. But yes, you can. It's metal utensil safe. Absolutely, that hard coating enamel is going to protect the pan from any of your metal utensils.
Awesome.
So
okay.
What you're going to do now? You're going to add your vegetables in there and start sweating those down?
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to saute them. So we're going to take an onion, one medium onion, and I like sweet onion. I'm going to take one carrot. Try and do a small dice if you want.
You keep doing yours. I'm going to flip my pork chops over real quick.
He's cooking up pork chops. And then you're going to take one large parsnip, and you're going to want to, again, do that in a small dice. So a little extra olive oil probably in this, if we have some.
There's right in your hand.
Thank you, darling. Just to give it a little bit of a base to cook in. We'll mix it all up. Now you do this over medium heat because with cast iron, you don't need to jack up the heat on the stove. And what will happen is these will begin to soften, which is really nice. So, and when they soften, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to return the beef to this pan. But I'll get to that step later. We're going to let that soften a little bit, Greg. Why don't you come back over here, honey? Because these pork chops look amazing. Here's something I want to tell you about this Le Creuset pan. It's a 3-quart oval. I love the shallowness for certain dishes that we're doing, like the shepherd's pie. But I'm really loving the price for you tonight. Because at retail, on Le Creuset's website, this is $200. We are $50 less. We reduced the shipping and handling, and we put this on 5 easy payments. This is a piece that you're going to own forever, so it's worth the investment. And this, the browning results, just one of the many reasons why we invest in Le Creuset cast iron.
That's right. Cast iron cooks like no other pan that you're going to do out there. The heat retention and the distribution that you get, which means when the pan gets hot, it stays hot. And the heat goes from here to here, top to bottom, side to side. It's all even heat because the cast iron conducts all of that heat evenly. And that's important in order to get that beautiful caramelization. And in this case, on the pork chop, that caramelization is that browning that you get, that perfect browning on the pork chops. Now, I'm going to do something similar that you just did.
Okay.
And I'm going to demonstrate what you talked about, the fond and the release and deglazing and all that. So just for a second, I'm going to take my smothered pork chops out. And we're going to show how you finish them. So what I'm going to do, add a tiny bit more of that oil in there, just a little bit, and then we're going to speed things up just a bit. I'm going to add my mushrooms and my onions and my aromatics, which is just a little bit of thyme in this case.
I love fresh thyme.
Yep, it's really it's a wonderful all around for any proteins, any meats. Little salt and pepper, and then you can see at the bottom of the pan, that's the fond you were talking about. That's the stuff that sticks to the bottom. Don't ever get rid of that. You want to keep that because that's going to create an amazing sauce by just doing one thing, by adding some liquid. And now, in this case, we're adding a little bit of white wine and some stock. And you can see the bottom comes totally clean and releases right from there. This is not a chef trick, but it's a technique that all of the chefs use to get all those great flavors and to help create your sauce. So in just a few minutes, this will turn a little bit thicker by itself and get a little more rich. But we're going to speed things up, and what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and add our pork chops right back in.
That crust is so much flavor.
And that's where the flavor really is. Let's keep all those juices too. And then all we do is add a little bit of cream. And the great thing about this pan, and we say this a lot with our Dutch ovens and the other products that we have here, one dish cooking is so awesome. You know, you get all the great flavors in there. You only kind of mess up one pan, even though this is really easy to cook. Who needs 6 or 7 or 8 pans? So now you're going to pop this in your oven. Remember, the cast iron is going to cook and radiate from all the sides too. So in the oven, it's going to do a great job from baking in that standpoint too.
How high of an oven can this go in?
500 degrees in your oven, no worries.
Yeah,
It can go with this pan, since there's no cap lid. You can go, you know, pretty much in a higher oven.
We're going to
500
put
or
this under the
degrees.
broiler later with when we do the mashed cauliflower on the shepherd's pie. How many picked up since its debut? 1,600 of these. I know you just had it on In the Kitchen with David.
We did.
It was wildly popular. Again, how do you not love the price? I better show colors or everybody's going to start getting mad
Right,
at me.
yeah, we're down to 4 now, right?
Yeah, we're down to 4, and it comes in the beautiful orange Le Creuset box. So as a gift, as a wedding present, it's going to be a big wow factor. So there, first of all, is your Marseille. That's going to be that beautiful, or I'm sorry, marine. That's your beautiful blue color. Then next to that is my color that I collect, the oyster. I love the gradient variation of that gray. We even have the Soleil, which is that beautiful burst of yellow. It's going to be my most limited color. Please do not wait. It's really that just golden lemon sunshine. And finally, we have it for you in the original color of Le Creuset Flame. Remember, this is a brand that's all about just that's steeped in French tradition, from French cooking to just the quality of kitchen appliances that have come from France.
Right, and this is technically a gratin pan. So if you were in France and you had the Le Creuset, this would be a gratin pan, which traditionally they made gratin, which is, you know, just a layered potato dish in there with a little bit of cream, some nice cheese, the richness that you get. And again, cooking with the cast iron and baking in the cast iron, let's say you cook in a glass casserole dish, that doesn't radiate and emanate the heat from the bottom and from the side. So it kind of keeps all those flavors in. It keeps all, especially like creams, from separating like they typically would because they get too hot in that glass. This is going to keep it nice. The presentation is beautiful. So this is also another great thing to come right from the oven to your tabletop. Put it on a trivet. You serve right from here. And the other great thing too, if you're doing that, it keeps things, again, nice and hot on your tabletop. It's not going to instantly cool down. Like, you know, glass is not going to do that.
Nope.
A lot of your aluminum or ceramic.
And also, you can cook on virtually any cooktop, whether it's glass, whether it's flame, whether it's electric. Induction.
Absolutely.
So really, if you're going to give this as a gift or as you upgrade your appliances in life, you're not tied down because of the kind of cookware that you have.
No, it works on anything, and that's what we wanted to. It's easy to clean, too. Now, it's got that enamel coating. Now, you'll notice the whole thing is cast iron. The outside is going to have your color that you love. The inside has the proprietary sand enamel that we have on a lot of our products. As we pointed out earlier, when we deglaze this, it came all but 100% clean. Usually it's going to just require a little bit of washing, a little bit of soap and water. Sometimes the more stubborn ones, you can just put in your sink and get a little, you know, scrubby pad or scrub daddy, and that'll usually take care of it 100%.
We sell an amazing cleaning item. It's on In the Kitchen with David all the time. Bio cleaner? Is it the stuff in the jar?
Yep, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work awesome. But I remember my husband was watching me for the first time cook with Le Creuset, and he saw the fond on the bottom, and he goes, "Oh my God, you burnt this so bad." And he does cleanup duty. Right. Only fair,
nope,
right?
You're like, watch.
And he was like, "I'm never going to get this clean." I'm like, all I did was pour some red wine in there, and I'm like, "Watch this, babe."
Yep.
And everything lifted up, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I can clean that." I'm
And
like, "Oh."
it's easy. And you know, honestly, you can use this, and I use it all the time on my stovetop. So I'm a chef, okay? So a lot of people don't know this, but when you start your meats, you want to sear your meats, you finish them in the oven. So if you're cooking a thick steak or you're cooking some chicken or something like that, don't cook it on the stovetop the whole time because you're going to get that heavy heat on one side. What we do, we sear it off, season it, let it get the great flavors that you want on it, and then finish it in the oven. And that's a great technique to be able to do that with this. And remember, big handles right here, easy to grab with your mitts. This isn't particularly hot right now, so I can grab it with my hands, but really easy whether you're using mitts or just towels. Very easy in and out of the oven.
Genevieve is watching on the live stream on my Facebook page, Stacey's Stoffer QVC. She's a big foodie.
Good.
Hi, Genevieve. She
Hi, Genevieve.
says generations all the way down are going to appreciate you for something like this. It's a beautiful dish. You do pass down. It's so beautiful. You put it on the table to serve. You don't need an additional platter. You have them, but put this, look at that beautiful color.
It is, and this is
marine. I mean, it's gorgeous.
It really is something that people love to showcase, especially newlyweds or something like that. You want to show these off. This is something that you're going to put on your stovetop to kind of finish off your kitchen. You know, whatever color. I know David loves the flame. My wife loves the palm.
Okay.
And we have some of the oyster as well. So we kind of like
That's
one of the
what I
muted colors
collect.
too.
Oh.
But just look at this. Really simple, easy. This went into the oven all at the same time. This is a whole chicken. We've got some potatoes, vegetables, peppers, and it's done.
Are those Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, we got some Brussels sprouts. in
Yes,
there, too.
because it's step-by-step cooking with Stacy,
Right.
not in the kitchen with
I know.
David. You would never do
No,
Brussels
David is
sprouts on
not.
David's show.
Unless there was tons of bacon on and he had a blindfold.
Yeah,
but,
right?
but he'd still probably pick that out.
Oh, that stinker would.
But the whole idea is really easy.
I
We've
even love the pizza
Take a look
that
at
you
this
did.
pizza. We've got this giant. Now, deep dish pizza from Chicago is done in cast iron. They have those deep cast iron pans. They're kind of rustic. They're unseasoned. So, and again, you don't need to season this. It's a cast iron pan. Speaking of that, you never have to season it or do anything. It's just ready to roll the day you get it. But look at this, big, thick. If you're gonna bake in this, you get that nice golden brown all the way around the crust. Nice golden brown, that thump that you want to get on the bottom there too. So that's the good baking results.
All of a sudden, all the crews here behind the scenes because they know they're going to eat.
Yeah, right.
And don't forget about baking. Just take the wampum biscuits, the cinnamon rolls, pop them in the Le Creuset, put a little cream cheese over top. But here's the thing, beautiful presentation for brunch on a Sunday morning. Carl says he loves Le Creuset. He used the oval pan this evening for the first time to make a roast chicken. All right, Carl, cooking along with us here. And with me and Greg Shockley. Greg, I can't thank you enough. Again, metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, beautiful, and you don't have to season it. It's Le Creuset cast iron. I'm going to go through colors again. Remember, $50 less than the retail price, and one of the best easy pays we can do with reduced shipping and handling. So now is the time to get it. Just let us know. Do you want Soleil? Do you love yellow in your kitchen? My grandmother did. I would get her the Soleil. How about the oyster? That's your gray color. The flame is the original. They're so pretty. And don't tell my husband, but I'm picking this one up for my collection because I don't have a shallow for a Le Creuset, not in the cast iron anyway. I have it in your stoneware. Then we have the blue is the marine, and finally the original, the flame. And remember, if you're going to gift this, it's going to come in that beautiful orange Le Creuset box. Greg Shockley, thank you for coming on
Thanks
Step by
for
Step
having me. I can't wait to try this.
Okay, you're going to try it? All right, and then
it.
later, because you're bringing the cocottes,
cocottes,
I'll serve you some of the pudding we're making with avocados. Okay. Yeah.
That's a deal.
He probably has been there, done that, being a chef and all. I want to continue our recipe step here for shepherd's pie. Okay, so remember, we already ground our beef. We took it out of the pan and then started sweating our vegetables. So those look nice and soft. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to return the ground beef to this pan, and I'm going to go ahead and make kind of like, I call it the gravy, if you will. Okay, so really here, what we're going to do is we're going to take some tomato paste. This will be a nice thickener, and that's about a teaspoon of tomato paste. We're going to take, I believe it's a teaspoon of the Worcestershire. I always just kind of get a feel for recipes, don't you? Especially when you make one over and over again. I'm going to do that. I already salt and peppered it. And then what I'm going to do is I want to pour a little bit of flour over top to also help thicken this as well. The other thing you're going to need is I want you to take some chicken base, mix it in with a cup of water to make a little liquid. We already did that, and we're going to build that over top. And then I'm going to mix this all together. So remember, it's tomato paste, Worcestershire, flour, chicken base whipped up in some water, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to stir this around and get it nice and incorporated. And then what we're going to do is heat this again over medium heat because it's in our cast iron pan, so you don't have to get too hot on the stovetop. And we're going to heat it till it starts thickening up. Usually it takes about 5 minutes. And then once it gets nice and thick, trying to be nice and tidy. Normally at home I would not be this tidy at all. No, it'd be on all over the stove top. So we get that nice together. And at this point, because you've been heating it in several steps, your ground beef should be nice and cooked through. So you don't have to worry about cooking that anymore so nothing dries out. So now we have that incorporated. It's thickened. And then we're going to take our cauliflower mash and we're going to put it over top. I'm using my spurtle, which is coming up in the show. Love my spurtles. I'm going to put that over top. Now it's up to you. You could cover the entire shepherd's pie if you want, or you could just kind of do the center and let some of the beautiful color of the parsnips, the carrots, and the onion peek out on the side. That's usually what I like to do. We're gonna get that over top. All right, don't want to fuss too much of perfection for time's sake on TV. And here's a little trick that we do, or I do, because it's cauliflowered mash. Remember, this isn't mashed potatoes. I beat an egg very lightly, actually till about frothy, and then I just kind of go over top of the mashed, only because it's going to give this beautiful golden